And he said, Mama, you're right, right? I was complaining all the while, no wonder I'm feeling the pain. And Mama Oyster went to tell him the story. Say, hey, son, when you complain, you feel the pain. But one thing is true, let's try this out. But when you enjoy, you feel the joy. Hey everyone, welcome back to Coaching Changes Lives. So glad you can join us this week. Now today we're going to talk about the hidden wisdom from the pearls. What the stories on Oyster can tell us, and that we can gain leadership principles and coaching principles from this one story. So if you're new to the channel, do remember to hit the subscribe button and notification bell to stay tuned with all the latest updates that we have for you. And this channel is for coaches, speakers, leaders. And what we do here is that we truly believe that coaching is conversational mastery. And every single week we come to you with fresh video content to inspire you and to equip you and empower you as coaches, as leaders, as speakers. Because one thing is true, that too often we have not been investing in ourselves in our communication process and not really loving up. So in this video series, we hope to inspire you to do just that. Now today, it's all about motivating and inspiring speakers and leaders around the world. And one of the stories that I love, that I tell all around the world as well, is this story of Oscar the Oyster. So many people have asked me, say, Jedi, what do you mean Oscar the Oyster, and what story is that about? Now, the truth is this, all around us, there are hidden gems, hidden secrets, there are hidden stories, there are hidden metaphors, hidden analogies that we can draw from, whether you're a leader, speaker, or a coach. Now, this is so important because today, we need greater leaders. We need greater leadership in over things. Now, when we talk about leadership, we don't mean positional leadership. We don't mean having a title as a leader, having a title as a manager, having a title as an influencer. No, leadership can be done regardless of titles. Now, we always see this, right? There can be situational leaders where leaders arise because of the situations. There can be authentic leaders that may be leading because they're at a certain position. There can also be servant leaders, leaders who don't need titles, don't need anybody to know, but they're just serving people to the best of their abilities. But what we're going to focus on today, it's not the types of leaders. We're going to focus on leadership. How us as coaches, us as speakers, are a leader in our own rights. In the coaching process, when having a conversation with us and the client, we are leading the process. We are leading the front. But leadership doesn't mean that you're over the person. It doesn't mean that you're subjugating the other person. It doesn't mean that you're better than the other person. No, leadership means this, right? That to lead, to excel and to overcome it, to lead the person forward, to bring the person to a new place of realization. And leaders are also readers. So as leaders, one of the things that I always recommend leaders to do, it's always to read more, to discover more, to learn more, to speak more, to engage more, to think about things more, right? And one of the last things we want to do as leaders is that we are oblivious to things that are happening, because ignorant leaders are leaders who are not growing as well. And to me, leadership, it's when we spend a lot of time, effort, energy, resources to develop ourselves. Too often as leaders, we fail to grow, fail to develop ourselves, and no wonder we're not experiencing that at a higher level of leadership. So if you want to raise your leadership, you need to start telling yourself a different story. You need to start hearing the stories of hope. You need to start hearing the stories of truth. You need to start reading and going deeper with yourself. To me, this is one thing I always say is true. To that degree, you have led yourself and help yourself to overcome certain issues. And to that degree, you can help your team. Because too often, leaders are not able to see, or the teams are not able to see further than leaders. Okay, so I say that again. Teams are not able to see further than what the leaders can see. So your teams rely on you as the leader to inspire them, to move them forward. Why is that so? Because the truth is this. Every single person is always looking up to someone that they can follow after. When little children are born, they're always looking up to their parents as a source of inspiration. And as youths grow up, the youths look around them, look left and right to their peers as potential idols, as potential followers, as potential leaders to admire and follow. And our teams as well, they are looking towards us for inspiration. They're looking towards us for hope and motivation as well. So today we're going to look at just that, the story of Oscar the Oyster, and how that can make a big difference in our leadership and coaching journey today. So I, as a coach, have been helping coaches from around the world and leaders from around the world as well to lead a transformative life. Because to me, living out is more important than doing. Being, it's more important than doing. Too often we're trying to do, but we don't be. And one of the big challenges that all of us face in this whole process is this: that what happens when things don't go the way it should? What happens when the days is just like a Monday blur for me, or a Monday blues for me? And that's why we have these episodes every single Monday, where we hope to encourage you and inspire you. Because every Monday, notice this, every time when you enter the workspace or when you enter the office and it's Monday again, guess what the people usually say? Ah, it's just another Monday. Oh, it's just another Monday again. Ah, there you go. And you notice they always have a sigh. And they're always complaining about, oh, last week was tough, this week's gonna get worse. Oh, my Monday is filled with meetings after meetings. I have to rush through this project, I have to go for that project, I have to go for this event, go for that event. No wonder many people are actually more burnt out on Mondays than on Fridays. There was a study done to measure the effectiveness and productivity of an individual across the 5 working days. And guess what? Which days do you think people are most hardworking in? Well, typically it's Monday and Fridays. Or Fridays usually productivity drops because when Monday comes, you are faced with a full week ahead. Wednesdays are usually when people get burnt out or they get stuck and they feel like, when is the week going to end? And Fridays, that's when productivity drops, even though it seems the most relaxing day. Now, why is that so? Because one thing is true. Too often when we go through life, when we go through our activities, we don't realize the different levels of energy that we bring in. That's why Mondays, usually what we try to do is that we try to have a word of inspiration for the week, a word to kick you started for the week, right? So today's word, it's the word of pearls, the hidden wisdom of pearls. And I hope that this word will speak to your heart today. Okay, so now, one of the things I love the story about Oscar the Oyster was this. The story of Oscar the Oyster has 2 parts. It has many different layers, and I hope in the story you can extract new learnings and new stories and lessons for yourselves and your teams as well. So it goes like this. Many years ago, there was a little oyster, his name was called Oscar, and he was about to attend school. So his mom told little baby Oscar to say, hey, Oscar, do remember to grab your bags and head off to school. Don't forget your lunchbox and get ready. Do you have all your things ready for you? And Oscar turned to Mama and says, yeah, Mama, I'm all ready. I'm all excited for school. Let me go to school. So Oscar the Oyster, together with his friends, entered the school. And during the school recess, when they were having some fun to play, Oscar and his friends were playing a little bit of sea soccer. So they were kicking the sea soccer balls around, and suddenly an accidental kick caused a ravaging flow of sand to enter Oscar's mouth. So, and Oscar was like spitting all over, and all the sand that was coming into his mouth all scattered everywhere, right? And somehow there was a particular grain of sand that couldn't get out of his mouth, and it was beginning to feel all that irritating sensation that's engulfing his mouth altogether. And Oscar was complaining. He said, I can't get this out. I'm trying to speed it out. I'm trying to speed it up, but I just can't get it out. Would someone help me? So it was around his tongue. It just seems to be embedded there, and he just cannot get it out. So he was complaining, say, hey, my friend. So he turned to his friend, Tim, and said, Tim, can you help me get this out? And Tim was a little goldfish, and Tim was like, hey, I'm trying my best. I'm walking this place, and I want to help you get it out, but I can't seem to get it out as well. And then next he turned to Eel, the little Mr. Eel. Mr. Eel went and looked in his mouth and said, hey, it's kind of embedded inside the mouth. It's going to be really hard to remove as well. So Oscar the Oyster just said, if only I can remove it, if only I can do this, if only I can do that, what am I going to do about this? So Oscar was complaining the whole entire day. And all the way to the end of the school, Oscar was just having this irritating pain on the inside of him, and he's just wondering, can I get this out? Can I even get it out? So he complained all the way back home, and he told his mama this story. Mama, when I was in recess time, I was playing soccer with my friends, and the sand just flew into my face, and there was this particular grain of sand that stuck in my mouth, and I just cannot get it out. And Mama looked at Oscar the Oyster and said, hey, you know what, Oscar? It's going to be a tough challenge, right, to remove that because it's just embedded inside. Now, Oscar, that's what I do, right? Rather to try and pluck it out, I just want you to see if there's a way for you to look at something else. Do not get distracted by that little grain. It's going to be there, but it's not going to be easy to remove. Okay, you just got to let nature take its course, and over time you will get out of your mouth. And Oscar says, no, Mom, I just want to get it out. It's so irritating. It's causing me so much pain. It's causing me all these things. And then Mama told Oscar this one thing. Oscar, let me tell you something. I want you to remember this sentence really clearly. When you complain, or when we complain, you feel the pain. Now, Oscar, what are you feeling right now? Mama, I'm feeling pain all over me. I said, well, what are you doing before the pain? Well, yeah, I was complaining, right? I was complaining about how if I had scored the goal, things would not happen like this. If only there was no sand in the field. If only it was this. If only someone can help me to remove it. If only I wasn't an oyster because my mouth can open as big as the other fishes. If only. And he said, Mama, you're right, right? I was complaining all the while, and no wonder I'm feeling the pain. And Mama Oyster went to tell him the story. Say, hey, son, when you complain, you feel the pain. But one thing is true, let's try this out. But when you enjoy, you feel the joy. When you enjoy, you feel the joy. What you focus on will manifest itself. What you focus on will manifest itself. So when Oscar heard that, he turned to Mama and said, Mama, I'm going to just do just that. Instead of complaining, let me enjoy and celebrate what I have and to find that joy within. So Oscar went his way, began to do his work, and as time goes by, he'd forgotten about that little grain that was inside of him. And little did he realize that it was a few months and a few years later that has gone by without realizing that the little grain of sand was still in his mouth. Right. So one day, when it was 2 to 3 years later, Mama told Oscar, come here. Mama has something to tell you. Okay, and so what was really interesting was this, because when Oscar was running around one day, he accidentally saw a glimmer of light that just shone in all directions. It was iridescence of light, and it was just firing every single direction, and Oscar was blinded by the light. And so he thought he has some eyesight problems now. So he went back home and told Mama, you know what? This morning when I was running, I just cannot understand why, there's this blinding light that was just shining in all directions. Mama, can you help me? And Mama looked at Oscar the Oyster and said, hey, Oscar, do you know what happened? You're not blind. You're not getting myopic. You're not getting any form of short-sightedness. Oscar, I want you to look yourself in the mirror. So Oscar the Oyster went to the mirror and opened his mouth and said, hey, he found something in his mouth. And he told Mama, Mama, what's that in my mouth? And Mama said, that is a pearl, my son. That's a pearl. No wonder you're actually experiencing all that rays of light, because when he opened his mouth, when the sunlight hit, it radiates the light all over. And Oscar was confused now and told Mama, how did I get this pearl in my mouth? And Mama said this to Oscar. He said, Oscar, I want you to know this. Remember that grain of sand that you had in your mouth many years ago? Then Oscar said, yes, Mama, I remember. And what were you doing? I was complaining a lot. And what happened after that? Oh, I just got distracted, and I was just carrying on through life. I was just enjoying every single day of my life. I said, yes, and you were enjoying every single moment. But you know what, Oscar? I want to tell you, you and I are oysters. We have a special ability when something gets stuck, when something becomes irritating for us. We have this ability where our mouths will secrete chemical compounds that will cover up all these irritants and will make those irritants into something beautiful. And that little grain of sand has now become that amazing pearl of great price. What many people think of sands, grains, irritants, challenges, guess what? We as oysters now have the ability, have the unique chemical composition to be able to turn those challenges and the problems and the irritants into something beautiful. You know what, Oscar? Remember Mama told you before, when you complain, you'll feel the pain, but when you enjoy, you'll feel the joy. And Oscar told Mama, thank you for the lesson. You know what, Mama? I could have complained every single year. I could have been complaining every single day. But you know what? Your message has encouraged me, because I've forgotten about it. But today, when I look back, I see the manifestation of those irritants into something beautiful, into a pearl of great price. So that's the story of Oscar the Oyster. When he went through that journey, something amazing happened. Instead of focusing on his pains, instead of focusing on all the things, Mama just allowed it to be there. Because you know what? When we're growing, there will always be growing pains. But do we remove that pain, or do we help someone to see, hey, how do we turn that pain around to your greatest strength? Because guess what? Even when we are building our bodies as well, when you go to the gym, when you go and exercise, when you go and run, your muscles actually break down for them to form new ones again. So the strength comes by using and exercising them. It doesn't come by just sitting down and just dissolving them, but it comes through exercise, it comes through utilizing them as well. So one thing is true, whenever you face an irritant in your life, when you face an irritant in your leadership process, in your coaching process, guess what? Right? Because you are a coach, because you're a leader, there will be the right chemical compound that is there to support your growth. You may not see the transformation happen overnight. It may not happen in 1 month or 2 months. It may not happen even in 1 year. But give it time. transformation will surely happen. It may not happen immediately, but it will surely happen. Too often, whenever I hear this as a coach, clients always say, "I want to have the transformation now, 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 now," right? And I tell them, I said, "Hey, you know what? There is a time and season for every single process. You can experience the transformation now, transformation on the outside, but you know what? The transformation on the inside needs to be there." Because if you don't transform on the inside and you have a new hardware, your software will not be able to take the full advantage of the hardware. Think about this. If you have the latest computer, but your software, it's still that of a decade ago, it's not going to be fully optimizing the hardware. Yes, you may see incremental results because it's faster and you have a better hardware, but you're not fully able to engage all the different components of the hardware to fully utilize them to the best of your abilities. To me, as a coach, there's always growth, both outward manifestation as well as inward manifestation. What is more important is your inward growth. If your software is upgraded well, if you are able to guard your heart above all things, guard your heart. Now, what will happen is this: you grow strength, you grow courage, you grow fortitude, you grow that verve, the grit, the resilience to face all kinds of odds. No matter what odds comes against you, no matter what evidence comes against you, you will turn it around because that will be your greatest pull. Nobody can rob away your experience. Nobody can rob you away from those challenges that you face. And those very challenges that you face sometimes will be your greatest assets and will be your greatest stories as well that you tell. Too often, many people tell me, "Mr. Jedi, you know what? I really don't like this that's happening in my life. I don't like that that's happening." I said, "Well, congratulations. Now you have a story to tell." A story worth to tell, a story worth to inspire others as well. When we do these videos as well, it's not about trying to hack the algorithm. It's not about trying to get more views or more likes. What we're trying to do here is just do one thing, just to inspire one person at a time. And we hope that you do just that as well. If you like these videos, if it encourages you every single Monday we're doing this to motivate you, to push you forward, to inspire you, do give us a thumbs up, like this video, share it with someone, who needs to hear this message of hope, the story of Oscar the Oyster. And this is a story that has many hidden layers of nuances, hidden layers of meaning, hidden layers of nuggets of wisdom, and I hope you have gained something from today's conversation, right? So take a moment, right, and think about the story of Oscar right now, and how does it relate to your life? What is that irritant that you're facing right now? And how would it transform into the great Poe? Do we have to do something about it? No. In fact, all Oscar had to do was just go through life, focus on not the negative, focus not on the complaining, but focus on just developing himself, just being him. The more he focused on himself, the more he focused on towards his goals, and he didn't realize this: the good and success would chase after him. Too many people are chasing after success, but you know what? Success comes after the heels of those who have preparation, those who have been through the challenges in life, those who have been through the challenges and trials of life. You know what? We don't chase after success. We chase after the vision. We chase after the goals. We chase after the dreams and the destinies. The more we look at that, guess what? It will come after us. Success will come after the heels of those who are well prepared and those who are committed to grow and develop yourselves. Right? So that's the message of leadership today, that don't forget to invest in yourself. Don't forget to give resources for yourself. Don't forget to grow yourself as a leader, as a coach, to get better every single day. So there you have the message of hope this Monday, and I hope encourage your Monday. So it's no longer going to be just a traditional blue Monday, but it's going to be a magnificent Monday for you today. So if you like this, leave a comment below, share me your thoughts, share me your ideas, and give us a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button, because we got more videos and exciting videos to share with you in the upcoming weeks as well. So until next time, this is Jedi here at Coaching Changes Lives. Do stay connected with us. We have Instagram account, our Facebook account, and also our LinkedIn account. So do leave us a message, and we would love to hear your stories as well.